right before I drive away to forget. Why do I give a damn after everything we said? G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. Alright, so I know I always bang on about, put the bag down and pick up the kids and whatnot. So I thought, obviously that's talking about drugs. And so I thought it was only fair that I be honest and candid about my drug history past. And so let's get into it. And there's another reason why I'm making this video as well. And you will see at the end why I am making this video. All right, so I guess it all started with me as a teen smoking weed, smoking bongs, and so I started. I actually tried weed for my first time when I was pretty young. I'm not going to say how young, but it was really young, and I actually had a really bad experience. And apparently it was laced with something else, which could be the case, or it could have been that I was just really, really stoned, which was definitely the case. Um, that experience right there kind of turned me off trying drugs until a lot long after that. And also, I've made note of my older brother and sister were on drugs, and I'm quite a bit of an age gap between me and them. So, seeing that growing up as well made me, really not want that in life, kinda. And I got stuck into boxing and football as a young, and then never tried drugs again until I was 16. I tried weed again when I was 16, and I didn't try it again until I was 17, and then when I was 17 was when things kind of started moving towards that way. I was going to be living like drugs, so um, I started smoking weed more regularly with friends just on the weekend and stuff like that. But I was doing it, and then because like Mr. Self-dubbed Premier was pumping out so many ecstasy tablets. I'm talking about Mr. Williams. Carl Williams is dead now, but there was that many ecstasy getting around that you know I think a lot of young people's drug demise started with ecstasy. It was just that common, and it was made popular, and it was not uncommon for an ecstasy tablet to come out at a party, and people wouldn't go, oh, druggo, kind of a thing like that. And I tried my first Eckie when I was 17, and I continued after that to take speed. I started taking speed when I was like 18 or 19, and when I say that, I must say with the Eckies as well, this is something that I was only doing recreationally on the weekends, but it was every weekend, it was speed, ecstasy, something like that. And then, I started selling a bit of speed myself. And yeah, that's about all I'll say about selling it. But it was pretty readily available, and even though I wasn't paying for it, but I was still doing it every weekend, and it was it was something that was like it would be very uncommon for me to go a weekend without doing it, and everyone I knew was doing it too. Um, and this is before like the bike club scene and all that. Um, so, um, it was my drug dealing and gangs and stuff and all that that got me into that. But like, it was this that led into the gangs anyway. And so, yeah, I was just selling a lot of speed and taking a lot of speed. And then cocaine came along. Now, this wasn't something that I was taking a lot, but, if it was ever offered to me, I would definitely, have a couple of nose tacos, as they say. And yeah, and then, you know, pretty soon that, like, and I'm talking now, I'm kind of in my mid 20s. My son had just passed away, and a doctor prescribed me Valium, and then after that, he prescribed me Xanax. And so, um, well, if I can say if there's a drug that's as dangerous as they say it is, it's definitely Xanax. Like, that shit is really, really dangerous. And yeah, I mean, I guess I got stuck into it because it took away my feelings. I just lost a son, and um, yeah, and then things started spiraling out of control really quickly. Yeah, got involved with gangs and whatnot, and yeah, like, just would continually be selling pharmaceutical goods myself, and just involved in that life. Like, yeah, I can't even say, like, even though I was still only doing it on weekends, like, it was really starting to take a toll on me. And it wasn't going to be long before I ended up in jail. And like, here's why I really need to make this my point of this video. And so it wasn't, even though I was recreationally using drugs on weekends and stuff like that, my real drug issues did not start until I went to prison on my big sentence. I guess because I went to prison for what I deemed doing society a favour and saving a girl's life. Still, if you ask me today, I think I was doing the right thing. And but yeah, like, I was like, yeah, fuck you guys. You're gonna take me off my kids, my family, this and that. You are about to create a monster, and they did. Let me tell you right now. And so there wasn't anything that was off bounds for me. I was like, I am going to take anything that comes my way. And yeah, I guess, um, yeah, like, prescription pills is where I kind of started, bupe and prescription pills. And then, I, I, I started getting involved with heroin. I'll just say that. And we had plenty of it in prison, I'm talking about. And yeah, like, I got a heroin habit in prison, which is like a spin out, and it's hard for people to believe, um, that haven't done prison, with people that are doing well, kicking drugs and this and that. Like, it's pretty common. And yeah, I actually ended up with a pretty bad habit, and yeah, which then led me on to the methadone. I got on the methadone in prison. And yeah, like I said, they said they were going to, I said they were going to create a monster, and they did. And like, you know, the drugs turned me into an evil person in prison. I always carry shanks. And, um, anyone that's done prison with me will tell you that, they definitely don't need to know if I'm going to be there if something goes down. I'm always the first one there. Let me tell you, that's, people always say in my videos, because I've been stabbed 7 times. Oh, you've been stabbed 7 times. You mustn't know how to fight, or this and that, or shows what kind of person you are. You know what that means? That all that shows is that I am that motherfucker that's always stupid enough to put my life on the line for a group of people that wouldn't do it for me. That was me. That's what I used to do. And yeah, anyway, moving on. Yeah, this, the drugs got me really good in prison, and I thought when I got out that everything was going to be sweet. I was good, didn't touch anything, and then my parole finished. I had an ankle bracelet on at the start, and then my parole finished, and yeah, it was game on. Like I guess I was just partying for all the years that I missed out on, and then next thing you know, I'm smoking ice. Where ice was never an issue before prison, and it only really be started coming an epidemic, like whilst I was in prison. So yeah, I started smoking ice when I got out, and doing anything, prescription pills, all this and that, and yeah, like um, like yeah, it just wasn't good. And I'll be straight up honest. One of my kids said to me that you know, if we know that you're taking ice again, yeah, that's it. We don't want to be with you anymore. We don't want to live with you. This and that, and yeah. So from that day on, I literally all hard drugs, everything. Yeah, I gave away, and New Year's Eve for this year has been 4 years for me, and so yeah, that's a pretty big thing, and yeah, so like I'd like to think that over the years I've gained a bit of a knowledge on drugs, and basically, like, yeah, I still smoke weed. I did stop smoking a few months ago, but like, I am prescribed weed by the doctor, and I know it's hard for people to believe but trust me, weed is very very um, are legalized in Australia, and I think people find it hard to believe that we people on weed get sent flower form like bud form. But look, I'm not one of these people who thinks that says, "Oh, weed's not a drug. It's not a drug," because it is, and I know it is. But it doesn't affect my life in any way. And as a matter of fact, it actually helps me. I have multiple sclerosis. I got diagnosed in 2014, and as a matter of fact, it's the best medication I've ever tried. And yeah, so I think I've got a bit of a knowledge on it. So when I say put down the bag and pick up the kids, like I really mean it. Like drugs really, really sneak up on you and get you when you least expect it. And next thing you know, you're a hard drug user, and it sneaks up on the best of us. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. And there you go. That's me being open and candid about my drug history, and yeah, just stay away from it, kids. Drugs are bad, and yeah, like they will just lead to some drama or just something. It always leads to bullshit dramas, and even weed. Weed people say it's different. They're so chill, this and that, but it's still, you know. All right, guys. Anyway, I've been the Chaos Chronicles.
I am also the guy who decides if you and your friends walk out of here or not.